Sheriff Todd Baxter, District Attorney Sandra Doorley, Judge Alex Renzi, New York State Supreme Court, Paul C. Munch, James C. Money Jr., Pembroke Town Court, Public Defender Julie Cianca, Assistant Public Defender Mark Phillips. My name is Chris Chichester. I live in Rochester, New York. I've been in jail 6 times. 6 times a prosecutor from the District Attorney's Office of Sandra Doorley has not talked in court. What are the names of my prosecutors? You for $140,000 in taxpayer dollars. Public Defender Julie Cianca, know that answer. And you for $87,000. Mark Phillips, know that answer. And you're returning my mail to me because you're afraid of these freaks and sociopaths at the District Attorney's Office. It is insane for a public defender or assistant public defender anywhere in the United States of America to refuse to disclose the name of a prosecutor that has delivered a citizen to jail. I've been delivered to jail in total silence. A prosecutor has never talked in court. Perry Duckles, Mark Monahan, Elizabeth Buckley, and Michelle Crowley. How am I in jail, those 4 names I just mentioned, when a prosecutor doesn't talk in court? I know their likenesses. I don't know their names. You know their names. District Attorney Sandra Doorley just received this document. I hope she can send it back to me. That's called Vanished, October 23rd, here. On it, the first graph says, comply with the 19 Freedom of Information Law documents attached in PDF dated October 23rd, 2023. Mail the names of my prosecutor's sauce, the address, and a foil. Read the 6 PDF attachments that include a document from the Insanity, that is Pretrial Services Corporation. Why was I forced to contact this bureaucracy when I didn't have a trial scheduled? Answer this question, you party-switching freaks. It has an answer. Because you, District Attorney Sandra Doorley, and you, Sheriff Todd Baxter, and his $210,000 psychopath bosso, Alex Renzi, is using Pretrial Services Corporation on me to return me to jail. I believe I will be returned to jail because of this contraption right here. Or I'll be returned to jail another insane way by you freaks and sociopaths. Why do I have to call Pretrial Services Corporation? You understand that English has precision and definition and meaning. Pre-trial. I had to go over there to St. Paul. I think it's 691 St. Paul to meet with this employee, Jamie Belliard. And the whole time I'm thinking about Pretrial Service Corporation. I don't have a trial schedule. So I'm going to write this down to the District Attorney and Sheriff of Monroe County. These 2 party-switching freaks that you don't know are freaks at the Sheriff's Office and District Attorney's Office. And ask them, why am I calling Jamie Belliard and contacting Jamie Belliard and have to drag my ass over there and sit down in front of her and have her sign some document, and then me walk back down to St. Paul? Why? Because you're corrupt, that's why. I know the answer. It's not like I'm searching for an answer I need you to tell me. It's corruption and fanaticism and hatred. So, Vanish, Sheriff Todd Baxter. Got the links here. Vanish, mute, sociopaths, freaks, broken glasses. Richard J. Seaton stalked me into Pembroke Public Library, ran at me at the library, slammed his arm to the side of my head. I fell backwards, my head hit ceramic top. He hasn't been arrested, fired, prosecuted. He should be in state prison, but it's violent felony assault upon me. Nothing's going to happen to him. But I'll be in jail for telling a man on his tractor that nobody owns the land next to my residence. I walk outside here and say, nobody owns that land. It's Steve Desmond, a broccoli tree and lawn care. I walk back to my residence. Do you think that's a crime for sociopaths? At the Sheriff's Office, District Attorney's Office, I'll tell you what the answer is. That's not a crime. And Todd Baxter gave this $67,000 freak Shannon Meyer a $16,000 raise for one right and one for my arrest. Walk through this park lot I've walked through 4,000 times in Penfield. And then using this civilian Steve Desmond, she tells him, ride your tractor by his residence. If he comes out of the house, I'm going to be there to arrest him. But it's not a crime to walk outside, stand around here, say nobody owns the land, walk back to my residence. That's not a crime. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Harassment second. I go to this gym called PW Fitness. I'm on the bench press. Up walks to me Jermaine Benman. He stands over me, punches down. My head snaps back violently. We go out to the vehicle. Who did I just harass? The answer is no one. I'm in the backseat of the vehicle. $79,000 Andrew Reale arrives. He tells Jermaine Benman the language to say to me, I want to press charges against you. And with those words, I'm charged with harassment second, sitting in the backseat of Andrew Reale's police vehicle. Do you understand, freaks and sociopaths? Criminal contempt second, that's not a crime to tell a man on his tractor, nobody owns the land next to my residence. That's not criminal contempt. Harassment second, when I'm violently attacked and sitting in the backseat of a vehicle, I appear before John P. Lorenzo Jr. to answer these two ludicrous concoctions when I'm past 50. And he just summarily declares me guilty. Is this Julie Hahn or not? You know the answer. I look right at her. She doesn't dismiss these charges. She doesn't say to this $28,000, $34,000 train wreck, John P. Lorenzo Jr., Your Honor, I want to move to dismiss these charges because I can't make an argument that this citizen, Christopher Chavez, committed harassment second or criminal consent second. You know why? Because no prosecutor in the United States of America can make that argument in open court. You convicted me on paper with lies. So who is it? Perry Douglas, Mark Monahan, Elizabeth Buckley, Michelle Crowley. Who's my prosecutor before John P. Lorenzo Jr.? Well, the many names all these freaks and sociopaths, because you should know that the Appellate Division of State Supreme Court is wearing attorneys to spar. Lunatic fringe of this cop freak Shannon Meyer. The reason why she sets me up, I'm walking into Gold's Gym in Fairport. I'm returning from Gold's Gym in Fairport. My back is turned. This man named Nayraj Shah, 50-year-old man, lives with his 70-year-old mother, starts to scream at me. I turn around, I have this confrontation with him, where I tell him he's a psychopath. I walk away, give him the official finger, Brooklyn, New York, and this Nayraj Shah goes to the sheriff's office about me walking through his parking lot when he sees citizens every day walking through his parking lot, and this is falsely filing an instrument of falsely reporting an incident that's not a crime to the police. And I sent this to your office in July. This freak has not been arrested, this Nayraj Shah, this 50-year-old freak who lives with his 70-year-old mother, who sees people walk through his parking lot all day long in Penfield, starting at 7 a.m. until midnight. It will be past midnight because I could sit on my couch and through the sliding glass door, I'd see people walk through his parking lot. There were fireworks at Harris Wellen Park 3+ years ago. After the fireworks, 500 people walked through his parking lot. Were there 500 arrest warrants from this cop freak Shannon Meyer? Because I have a 14th Amendment right to walk through that parking lot. Don Benedetto and Michael Hulan, Todd Baxter, $73,000 perjurer freak Michael Hulan, and $85,000 freak Don Benedetto walked onto the private property of my 70-year-old neighbor and head waiting for me 2 years ago. Is it legal to walk onto private property here in the United States of America? Public Defender Julie Sianka. Is that legal, Deputy District Attorney Perry Douglas? You should answer me for $113,000. Hulan and Benedetto come running at me. I turn around at midnight, just took 30 seconds. I run away. I never stop running. Since I never stopped running, I can't commit any crime. I grab a hammer next to my bike. I'm about to run through the sliding glass door, place my foot on the first three steps in the back porch. $73,000 cop freak Michael Hulan grabs my arm. The hammer goes up like this. I run through the sliding glass door and never stop running. What crime did I commit? The answer is I didn't commit a crime. Just like I didn't commit criminal contempt second and I didn't commit harassment second. And again, these freaks are going to concoct the crime for me in the person of $73,000 Michael Hulan. And when you, Michelle Crowley, convened that grand jury and Michael Hulan states to the grand jury, I swung a hammer at him when I ran the whole time, he perjures himself. Michelle Crowley, since I'm running, how can I possibly swing a hammer at Michael Hulan? And I would have stated this to the grand jury, and then you could have asked me any type of perjury trap question you want when I'm sitting there. I ran the whole time. And since I've been a runner since the 7th grade, and I can run a 5K now in 21 minutes. I used to be able to run one in 15 minutes. It was easy to outrun these freak cops. So, Michelle Crowley, do you understand what I'm talking about? Why do you call me to the grand jury? Because you're a psychopath, Michelle Crowley, that's why. So as far as the Freedom of Information Law documentation, that's not attached with this current date. Today's current date is Saturday, October 28, 2023. So this documentation here is dated October 23rd. This is why you're corrupt, Michelle Crowley. This is why your boss is corrupt. Freedom of Information Law, she looked right at this. She's going to refuse to comply. This is in the district attorney's office. Freedom of Information Law. Information about the grand jury to be by District Attorney Sandra, Doorley, 2 target Christopher Chavez, 1 a day, month, and the grand jury is convened. 2, the signed district attorney's office appointed to address the grand jury. 3, the witness testified to the grand jury. 4, the vote of the grand jurors. 5, the transcript of the grand jury proceeding. I know one answer here. It's the number 3. The witness testified to the grand jury. It's perjurer Michael Hulan. Are you employees at the sheriff's office familiar with that report? I believe it was by the state attorney general about the death of a human being, Michael Hulan. I'm still researching this. A human being is dead because this Michael Hulan who walked onto the private property of my neighbor. A human being is dead because this cop freak perjurer. And Todd Baxter doesn't take his weapon from him, doesn't put him on restricted duty, and he walks onto the private property of my 70-year-old neighbor, and then he lies under oath in a grand jury. So, Richard Seaton walked into Pemberton Public Library and violently attacked me, and I had $61.39 in my pocket. Issuance of a new check to Christopher Child's history address below for an expired check in the amount of $61.39 from the county row office sheriff and May fund account. That's the dollar amount in the pocket of Child just when he violently attacked Pemberton Public Library, 75904, Richard J. Seaton, Milan County Sheriff's Office. He's staring at my front. This is the last time I leave my residence for 8 years in Penfield because this $28,000 bald-headed widow, Paul C. Messel, wants to send me to jail. Seaton attacks me, slams his arm to the side of my head, I fall backwards. They take me down to Pemberton Court, and that's when I meet, who do I meet, public defender Julie Sianka? My public defender. And this is the window dressing unconstitutionality where this bald-headed widow, $28,000 Paul C. Messel, can say I had counsel. So I sit down there, my head is pounding, my ears are ringing, and here this bald-headed widow, Paul C. Messel, has a statement to read from me. I don't even know why I'm going to be now driven to Livingston County Jail, Geneseo, when there's nobody there from the district attorney's office to make an argument I committed a crime. And is this unconstitutional? Perry Douglas, Mark Monahan, Elizabeth Buckley, for Paul C. Messer to convene Pemberton Court when the district attorney's office is not present? I don't know. And I believe it is unconstitutional. And I could be incorrect. I don't have the arrogance that I'm correct about that. Because what that means, freaks and sociopaths at the district attorney's office, is that Paul C. Messer can send any citizen in Penfield, town of 36,000, to jail, and the district attorney's office is not present to make an argument that a citizen committed a crime. You hate human beings at that revolting shot district attorney's office. Your boss, Sandra Doorley, is consumed by malevolence that I have never seen before in my life. So, here it is right here on this 1023. Documentation of the case of Christopher Child's just Pemberton Court for John P. Messer Jr. What is the name of the prosecutor, Sandra Doorley? So, 1023. What is the name of the prosecutor, Sandra Doorley? For my appearance for John P. Messer Jr. The freaking sociopath is right here because this is the payroll for the district attorney's office. Who is it? Michelle Crowley, 107-5406, you know. So Mark Monahan, 112-508, you know. Perry Douglas, 113-918, you know. You all know. Who is it? So, who elevated me to Alex Renzi in New York State Supreme Court is what I want to know. But before I get to Alex Renzi in New York State Supreme Court, this is the 5'2" three-piece suit boy before Paul C. Metzler. Documentation for the case for Christopher Child's in Pemberton Court for Paul C. Metzler. What is the name of the prosecutor, Sandra? October 23rd. This is in the district attorney's office. I hope, if she hasn't returned it to me. So the freaking sociopath before Paul C. Metzler is right here. And Robert Catalano for $107,000, you can tell me. Elizabeth D. Buckley, 104-474, been at the district attorney's office 2007, you can tell me. 102, Michael Harrigan, you can tell me. Sarah Van Stryk, 104, you can tell me. Who is it? So, I have prosecutors before John P. Messer Jr. and Paul C. Metzler, whose likeness I know, whose physical image I know, whose name I don't. But you know, and tell me. Because you're forcing me into these corrupt judges that you don't know are corrupt because you're corrupt. Tell me who it is. Because I'm going to seek disbarment for every one of these freaks suspects, and I'm extremely confident they will be disbarred when I go into detail about what's happened to me and who's the freaking sociopath that elevated me to $210,000 Alex Renzi, a graduate of the illustrious Emory Law School, which I said to him, Alex Renzi, I said, you had to go all the way to Atlanta, Georgia to get your degree. You couldn't get your degree in New York. And he looked at me with stone cold hatred. So who is it? Documentation for the case of Christopher Child's Alex Renzi in New York State Supreme Court was named the prosecutor, Sandra Doorley. The freaking sociopath is right here. Perry Douglas, Mark Monahan, Elizabeth Buckley, Michelle Crowley. Who is it? You know Julie Sianka, and you know Mark Phillips. And so does Jansen McNair. Excuse me. The reason why I mentioned Jansen McNair, because Jansen McNair doesn't know anything. Because Jansen McNair patronized returning my mail to the Office of Public Integrity. The reason why I'm showing these elements is Jansen McNair is doing the same thing that public defender Julie Sianka and assistant public defender Mark Phillips is doing. Patrick is hired double dipper. Todd Baxter's a double dipper. I'm confident you all know that about this bald-headed Benito Mussolini freaking stooge. Patrick is hired Jansen McNair. I'm going to go into more detail about him when I contact Adam Bello, and I'm going to copy the sheriff's office and district attorney's office. This is corruption right here. Why does Monroe County need an office of public integrity? There's no office of public integrity in the city of Albany because the mayors are smart enough to avoid something that's such a catastrophe that's Patrick. So here he is, Jansen McNair, returning my mail to me. And here he is again, Jansen McNair. Patrick has hired Jansen McNair returning my mail to me, which I expected. But I didn't expect certain individuals to return my mail to me, such as 3 times Regina Harper. She's still employed at the public defender's office. I don't know because her name is on the payroll. This is Regina Harper at the public defender's office. Those 3 envelopes right there, returning my mail to me. Regina Harper is an assistant public defender. Regina Harper is not appointed by the Monroe County Legislature. So here you are, Mark Phillips. You know how many documents in there, Mark? There are 200 documents in there. You returned to me $87,000 as the public defender. Well, I'm telling you that I'm being violently attacked by the freaks and psychopaths and sociopaths at the sheriff's office. Well, I'm telling you, Mark Phillips, I've been in jail 6 times. I'm telling you, Mark Phillips disclosed to me names I process. But you're not the public defender, Mark. You're just a staffer. And you, Mark, are not appointed by the Monroe County Legislature. You're hired by her. Julie Sianka right here. I'm looking for the date here. This is March 31, 2023. This is how long I've been in contact trying to find out the names of my prosecutors. It's Julie Sianka. You see her name clearly. Sometimes the post office put a stamp over there and the name can't be seen, but I know the name. This is corruption right here. Public defender knows the names of my prosecutors. Son, she's refusing. It's Regina Harper again. So here is corruption right here. You can clearly see her name. This here, I'm looking for the date on this envelope here for Julie Sianka. And it says 27 February. That's how long I've been demanding names of my prosecutor's silence. So here she is again. Julie Sianka. You received the package via FedEx. Returned. Julie Sianka, returning my mail again to me. How's this explained, Julie Sianka? So here you are again. They put the stamp over it, if it's called a stamp. Monroe County Public Defender refuses to tell me there's my prosecutors. Mark Phillips again. What's wrong with you, Mark? I really don't know what's wrong with you. If you were to live to jail, Mark, from fiction and lies by a psychopath prosecutor, you'd do the same thing I'm doing right now, Mark. I guarantee it. You'd think, who is this person? I want to see this person disbarred. My civil and constitutional rights have been violated. Mark Phillips, my civil and constitutional rights have been violated by freak psychopath prosecutors whose names you know at the public defender's office, and you're sending my mail back to me. What's wrong with Mark? You are again sending my mail back to me. That's at the very least unethical. So right here, vanished. October 23rd. That's the foil. This is in the district attorney's office. This document right here. This document right here is in the sheriff's office. This document right here is in the office of the United States Attorney for the Western District, Trini Ross, and Alex Renzi. And Alex Renzi is going to look at this. His immediate thought is going to be, I want to send this Christopher Chichester, Rochester, New York, to jail. He knows he can do this to me without one single word being uttered in court by you freaks and sociopaths at the district attorney's office. So who sent me in front of him? I'm telling you to disclose the name of the prosecutor for Alex Renzi, who said I was finished and done, which is not true. I'll be in jail for 7 times. But you freaks and sociopaths uttering one word. Renzi, Metzler, and Lomenzo. Tell me their names. It's corruption. Trying to find out if you have employees at the sheriff's office and district attorney's office can double his salaries, like right here. I'll pick a non-6-figure employee, Meredith Smith, $84,140. Can Meredith Smith double her salary to $168,000 with time and a half for overtime at the district attorney's office? You know who can't double their salary because only the sheriff's office will offer? It's $0 Michael Rather. Is $0 Michael Rather still at the sheriff's office or not? What do you think about that? Scott O'Berty, Kathleen Miller, William Tadeo. That Michael Rather's at the sheriff's office $0. Is Michael Rather paid money from the campaign accounts Todd Baxter created in 2017 when he first ran for sheriff, in 2021 when he was elected sheriff? Is Michael Rather still at the sheriff's office $0, or does Michael Rather pay private money? I know you're not going to answer me. When I contact the Control of Thomas P. Napoli, this is a reason I'm going to use to recommend to the Control of State of New York that Todd Baxter be audited. Because there's no doubt about it that Todd Baxter's fleecing taxpayers when he has $163,000 Michael Fowler, $155,000 Corey Brown in Saratoga, New York. Why were they in Saratoga, Todd Baxter? And I'm also trying to find out if the district attorney herself went to Saratoga for the district attorney's office summer conference, or district attorney's employees went to this junket. Because I have been to Saratoga more than 200 times, to the track, to the lake, because I lived in Albany County for 10 years. There's no reason ever for a Monroe County Sheriff Office employee, which definitely happened with Corey Brown and Michael Fowler, to be in Saratoga. Did the district attorney go to Saratoga? Did the district attorney send someone from the district attorney's office to Saratoga? I don't know. She's going to refuse to answer because she's corrupt. So, overtime, time and a half for the sheriff's office and district attorney's office. Total cost of overtime, time and a half, how paid on base salaries calculated to Monroe County Sheriff's Office, Todd Baxter. Can Corey Brown and Michael Fowler be paid $200,000 for overtime, time and a half? I don't know. You know. Todd Baxter knows. So, I haven't stated the name of this place on Elmwood Avenue that I was in because I hate to. But Paul C. Metzler has my healthcare records because I was in this place when I'm not examined by a doctor. I was driven from the jail to this place. And then when a real doctor examined me, Dr. Jeremy Smith, I was released. Paul C. Metzler knows I was at this place because you, Todd Baxter, gave him my healthcare records. Copy of private healthcare records delivered $28,000 Pennsylvania Court Judge Paul C. Metzler by Sheriff Todd Baxter in violation of Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. When I would go to hearings in the House Judiciary Committee, they would occasionally talk about healthcare records and federal law and privacy. And I don't have any privacy when you, Todd Baxter, smashing federal law into a million little pieces by giving my healthcare records to this bald-headed widow on Pennsylvania Court, Paul C. Metzler. Todd Baxter. Before I read this, it's right here, you bald-headed stooge and freak. And when I call you a bald-headed stooge and freak, it's because of Shannon Meyer. It's right here. This is 2025 Penfield Road. You can see it. That's a camera called a surveillance device, the links of which were sent to me by Gregina Harper at the Public Defender's Office, and I saw myself on it. And it's affixed to this building called Consumer Insights right here, and you can drive over and look at it. Todd Baxter, you bald-headed fucking freaking stooge. Is this taxpayer dollars? Did you buy it and fix it for me? Or is it private technology? I'm communicating with you too, you bald-headed fucking freaking stooge. Photographs why you're fanatic. This photographs why you're extremist. This photographs why you're a liar. This photographs why I know the name is $67,000 disgusting act Shannon Meyer. This photograph is why people hate the police. I never had any hatred for the police in my life until I moved to Monroe County. I will hate the cops for the rest of my life. So, freedom of information, what's in your office? Cost of a surveillance device purchased for taxpayer dollars and affixed to a building in 2025 Penfield Road to monitor Christopher Chichester. Walks through the parking lot next to the building, and that's the lunatic fringe. You got to come and complain about Nayraj Shah. Nayraj Shah, this 50-year-old freak Elizabeth 70-year-old mother, going to the sheriff's office and writing this ridiculous document that's called an accusatory instrument. It's falsely filing a criminal report. False reporting something that's not a crime. And why hasn't he been arrested? So, why are you being arrested? Because you don't know what a crime is at the sheriff's office. That's why. Ridiculous. Cost for photography session approved by Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter to photograph 10 Monroe County Sheriff Office employees underwater in the pool. I don't care if it's a private event. When I contact Thomas P. Napoli, here it is right here. These are your employees. These are Monroe County Sheriff Office employees. This was on your Facebook page. Sheriff Todd Baxter, do you expend taxpayer dollars for this private event? That's your language. Or not? I'm confident when Thomas P. Napoli looks at that, he's going to think, what is going on with that sheriff and what else is he doing? Control of the State of New York can uncover Todd Baxter if you're doing illegal things with tax dollars. And there's a difference between unethical and illegal. If you spend taxpayer dollars for this, that's unethical. Corey Brown and Michael Fowler in Saratoga, New York, that's unethical. Ryan Fisher in Atlanta, Georgia for Super Bowl with his canine dog Lola, that's unethical. You understand the difference between unethical and illegal? Control Thomas P. Napoli can make a decision about what you're doing that's unethical and what you're doing that's illegal, and you're doing both. Sheriff Todd Baxter. Cost for hotel and plane ticket from Monterey Sheriff's Office, Ryan Fisher attended Super Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia on February 3rd, 2019. I just told you to tell me what you fleece taxpayers for Ryan Fisher in Atlanta, Georgia, you bald-headed stooge and freak. So, Alex Rendick trying to find out if he is clerks. When I walked by the Supreme Court, because I read the book The Brethren by Bob Woodward, and a friend of mine knew a couple of the clerks, trying to find out if he has his clerks, if he's paying his clerks like $120,000 or $150,000. I believe the clerks tell him what to do. Name Sandra, public employee, New York State Supreme Court, and Supervisor Judge Alex Rendick, 99 Exchange Boulevard in Rochester, New York. In Rochester, New York, where there's a riot over there. So, I'm trying to find out if at Penfield Town Court, they got the old lady there at the window. $28,000 Paul C. Metz, $34,000 James Wayne Jr. I'm trying to find out if the old lady at the window, I think there's 3 employees that constitute Penfield Town Court pay more money than Marlene Metzler. I hope. Please, Paul C. Metzler, and please, James Wayne Jr., have that old lady being paid more money than you with $28,000 and $34,000. And I want to see your financial disclosure too, James Wayne Jr. and Paul C. Metzler. That's going to arrive in the next 2 weeks. And these 2 mutations of life on Penfield Town Court, where there isn't a jury of 12, there isn't a witness box for testimony, there isn't even a table for a defense attorney and the prosecutor to sit down at, will refuse. So, name salary, public employee in Penfield Town Court, does the old lady at the window receive more paying tax dollars than $28,000, Paul C. Metzler, and $34,000. James Wayne Jr. This is the last one we're going to read, even though there are more, but the contract for weapons, again, this is where I believe removed from office, Todd Baxter. I will use the same language because it's appropriate. And the language I use every single time with this, the weapons that I sent to you for free. Sheriff Todd Baxter. Contract signed by Sheriff Todd Baxter to purchase firearms from Sheriff's Office employees to include the name of the firearms contractor, to the number of firearms purchased, to total amount of taxpayer house to purchase firearms. So there's more in there too, and it goes on and on. But I'm going to get to criminal complaints, and these individuals have been arrested because you freaks and psychopaths and sociopaths and mutations of life at the sheriff's office don't know what constitutes a criminal act. So the criminal complaints, they have my signature. I signed my name to this too. The first one is Richard J. Seaton. He should be in state prison for slamming his arm to the side of my head and causing me to fall backwards and hit my head around the time. This has to be violent felony assault. It has to be. If somehow I'm incorrect, then the state legislature needs to rewrite what constitutes violent felony assault in the state of New York. July 22nd. He hasn't been arrested, fired, nothing's going to happen. None of these people have been arrested. When these are crimes, you'll concoct crimes from me, where it's impossible for a prosecutor to make an argument in court that I committed a crime, and then we'll ignore real crimes. Attached to 4 criminal complaints with this language, that Richard J. Seaton, Montgomery Sheriff's Office, walked into Penfield Public Library in Penfield, New York, ran Christopher Chichester, slammed his arm at the head of Chichester, causing him to fall backwards, and he hit his head on the ceramic tile floor. 2. Nayraj and Lee Kumar shot 2033 Penfield, York, force reported an incident with Christopher Chichester, falling at 26 Sanders from driving, walked through the parking lot next to his residence. 3. Antonio Spano, Fairport, New York, locked the front and back doors of the residence, 26 Sanders from driving, Penfield, New York, without a corridor. 4. Laura Riley, Webster, New York, transported the personal belongings of Christopher Chichester, 26 Sanders from driving, Penfield, New York, to a storage locker in Webster, New York, without a court order. These are crimes. Each of them do not be arrested or prosecuted. There is a 1-day in jail served for these crimes that destroy my life because you are incapable of identifying crime. You concoct crimes from the citizens you hate human condition. Then I have here 2 links. Rejection 113-98-142 Perry Douglas, 112-575 Mark Monahan, unconstitutional Sheriff Todd Baxter, Sandra Doorley, Judge Alex Renzi. I'm telling you over and over to disclose the names of our prosecutors in these 2 links here that you have in your district attorney's office, Shaq. These 4 criminal complaints here. I just don't write this down. I sign my name to it. Here it is right here. He hasn't been fired, arrested, charged. I'll be in jail for just telling a man on his tractor because of $67,000 cop freak shot in mine. Nobody owns the land next to my rents. When that's not a crime. I'll be in jail for that. For being outside for 30 seconds. Nobody owns the land and walk back in my residence. He violently attacks and assaults me at Penfield Public Library. Nothing's going to happen to him. You want me to take his weapon from him. He's going to attack other innocent citizens, Sheriff Todd Baxter. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Guys like him, psychopaths like him, Richard J. Seaton, don't change. So right here, what I just read, there's my handwriting right there. And then This is notarized by Christopher Price. This is my signature right there saying he violently attacked me. Christopher Price, the Monroe branch of the Rochester Public Library on Monroe Avenue. They it's my handwriting here for them false reporting this incident. It's not a crime to walk to that park line. It is a crime when this freak Neyraj Shah goes to the sheriff's office and demands not being arrested. What do you fail to understand? You do fail to understand. You can't identify a criminal act at the sheriff's office and district attorney's office. This is why you joke. It's my signature right here, again, about these two freaks on Pamphlet Road. It's a crime for Neyraj Shah and Leila Kumar Shah to falsely report this as a crime. You fail to understand. Perry Douglas, Mark Monahan, Elizabeth Buckley, Michelle Crowley, you do fail to understand. Antonio Spano locked the doors and locked me out of my residence. Antonio Spano, Fairport, New York, locked the front and back doors of the residence at 7 years, 26 cents from driving Pamphlet without a court order. It's as simple and easy to understand as it gets. This 80-year-old man who speaks in broken English won't be arrested because he's an 80-year-old man who speaks in broken English, and he's going to say, I don't know, this is not a crime. You'll just ignore me. Everything I own is gone because of him. My 1,000+ books are gone. My dress screens from 17 Cavalry 101st Airborne Division are gone. My BA from State University of New York at Stony Brook is gone. All my bikes are gone. All my running jerseys are gone. My running shoes are gone. My father's dress he gave me when he was a child in Brooklyn is gone. Every single thing I own is gone with this old man locking the doors and locking me out. And he had the Tenant Defense Project gave me this year. You should know what the law is. And you don't know what the law is. Rent and illegal lockouts. It is illegal for your landlord to change the lock, shut off utilities, and physically remove your belongings without a court order for eviction. There is no court order for Antonio Spano to change the lock. He committed that crime. There is no court order for him to remove my belongings from the residence. He committed both of these crimes. Why hasn't he been arrested? Because you cannot identify a criminal act because you're freaks and psychopaths. So, and my ex-girlfriend, Laura Rowley, takes a court order to take everything to this storage locker in Webster, where Laura and I used to live in Webster. When Laura and I moved from Webster to Penfield, when she's hired at the Penfield Public Library, I do not know. At the end of the hallway is this revolting Star Chamber Penfield Town Court. I don't know this. Even though I'd go see her at the library and open up the door. Laura Riley, Webster, New York, transport the personal belongings of Christopher Child says for 26 cents. I'm driving Penfield, New York, to a storage locker in Webster, New York, without a court order. Every single thing I own is gone because of her. I've contacted her over and over. Gmail, YouTube, registered mail return receipt that comes back to me. I helped her move when our relationship ended back to Webster. And this is what she does to me. Because she wants a bookcase. That's why. I have to file a separate criminal complaint. This is a bookcase that has my books on it for 8 years. And now it's at her new residence in Webster. She moved back to Webster. Lunatic French. It's extremely difficult sometimes to think about a human being you once had such admiration, love, and respect for completely turning into something that's unrecognizable. And I have said this to her on email, that you're unrecognizable. And you have done this to me. This is your fault, the sheriff's office, the attorney's office. I now look at her like an alien human being. So, you got those criminal complaints about these individuals, and why haven't they been arrested? Because those are crimes. The criminal complaint from Michael Houlihan is cop freak. I'm going to show you my handwriting. A perjurer. Michelle Crowley directed a grand jury. Michael Houlihan lied under oath in a grand jury. I said this on YouTube back in January, and I said it repeatedly before January. So, here's right here. Now, my handwriting is poor. So, there's my handwriting there. This is on July 27th. It continues here on this page here. And I'm going to read my handwriting about this cop, freak, lying, perjurer Michael Lynn, who said I swung a hammer at him on my back porch in Penfield, New York. Michelle Crowley, don't you think it's odd that two cops are on the private property at midnight of my neighbor, hiding? Did you ask them what they're doing on the private property, Michelle Crowley, before you convene that grand jury? This is the criminal complaint for perjury. Text criminal complaint for perjury 73-212 Michael C. Houlihan, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. My handwriting that I just showed is right here. That 73312 Michael C. Hulan, the Miami County Sheriff's Office, walked onto private property across the residence 2600 Farm Drive in Pemberton, New York, Christopher Chichester. That Houlihan ran at Chichester approximately 1 a.m. with $85,000 down Benedetto Sheriff's Office. That Chichester ran away from Houlihan and Benedetto. One of the identities that Chichester grabbed her hammer and alongside the residence next to his bike, used to fix the bike's tire. That as Chichester placed his foot on the first of 3 steps in the back porch, Houlihan grabbed his arm, the hammer, and Chichester hand is forced upwards. And Chichester ran across the back porch through a sliding glass door. And as Chichester never stopped running, it is impossible to swing the hammer at 73-312 Michael Houlihan. Michelle Crowder, do you not understand what I just read here? It's impossible to swing a hammer at this lying cop freak perjurer Michael Houlihan when I ran the whole time. I have never been violent in my life. I have never committed a crime in my life. That's why the prosecutor's always silent. I'm just being convicted on paper by you freaks and sociopaths involved with the death of a human being. The state attorney general had to investigate. Sheriff Todd Baxter, why don't you take his weapon from him and put him on restricted duty? This is a train wreck cop. He says, you, Todd Baxter, are a train wreck cop. You love this perjurer, Michael C. Houlihan. So, this is what I told you on January 26th about him being a perjurer, about this violent freak Richard Seaman, right here. This arrived over and over before I wrote the criminal complaints. This is what I've been telling you. Perjurer. Before I wrote that criminal complaint, Michael Houlihan, I told you on this January 26th and before that Michael Houlihan lied under oath. Violence. Before I wrote that criminal complaint about Richard Seaman attacking me, I told you this here on YouTube. Sheriff Todd Baxter. Sheriff Todd Baxter loves violent freaks that attack innocent citizens, and Sheriff Todd Baxter loves perjurers. So, over and over and over. Here's your emails about them too. Right up here, I only use this email once. Christopher Chichester33@gmail.com. Perjurer of violence. Mark Phillips, your name is here. Mark, did you see this email when I said perjurer of violence about Michael Houlihan and Richard Seaman? Did you watch it? Do you know what I'm talking about? Julie Siaka, what do you think about the cops lying under oath? What do you think about the cops attacking violent citizens in the person of Richard Seaman and Michael Houlihan? Does that matter to you? The answer is no. So, I'm not going to continue with these, but this document arrived. This document arrived at the Sheriff's Office, the District Attorney's Office, United States Attorney for the Western District of New York, Trini Ross, and Alex Renzi. And Alex Renzi is going to look at this, and his thought is going to be, I want this Christopher charge just in front of me so I can summarily declare him guilty and deliver him to jail, and then keep me in jail when I'm not told how long I'm going to be in jail. Every time I'm in jail, Monroe County Jail, Livingston County Jail, I'm not told how long. So, I'll conclude down with this. I have to go to the Goodwill to buy clothes because it's Antonio Spano. There's 20 in here. I don't have any clothes. All my rings are gone. I will wear a ring on my pinky finger, so I want to be like my Uncle Tom. Thomas Valentine Hennessy of Staten, New York. The late Thomas Valentine Hennessy of Staten Island, New York, taught me how to bet at Aqueduct of Belmont. Used to wear a ring on his pinky finger like this. That's why I would wear a ring on his pinky finger for 30 years. They're all gone because of Antonio Spano. It doesn't matter to you freaks and sociopaths. Just like I have this check. This is the check that had to be sent to me by the Sheriff's Office because I had $61.39 in my pocket, which JC is hacking me. Who the freaks is sociopath? Who is it? Tell me who this is. On this August 28th, 2023. You're going to get this on Saturday, and then I'm going to be back on here in 48 to 72 hours. I'll update the Freedom of Information Law. 48 hours from now on Monday, I'm going to be on here. On October 30th on Monday, I'm going to be on here with that date of the Freedom of Information Law. And you're still going to refuse to disclose the names of these freaks and sociopaths and psychopaths who are prosecuting me in total silence. And as far as me demanding who it is, Deputy District Attorney, Monroe County District Attorney's Office. My name is Chris Chichester. I live in Rochester, New York. I have been in jail 6 times. And 6 times the prosecutor's not talked in court. I have been demanding from you and your corrupt, skedaddle boss, District Attorney Sandra Doorley, for 18 plus months, that you jail one time when a prosecutor doesn't talk in court. That's happened to me 6 times. And this is a lunatic fringe deputy district attorney, Harry Douglas. Monroe County Public Defender's Office, Julie Sianka, with her employees Mark Phillips and Regina Harper, also refused to disclose the names of my prosecutors for silence. I can see these individuals. You should never forget it, Perry Douglas, when your life is smashed into a million little pieces by a fanatical, corrupt prosecutor. What do you think about what I'm saying 90 seconds into this YouTube, Perry Douglas? Because I have contacted you previously as I looked at the title to get it correct. Prosecutors at Perry Douglas, disclosure of Perry Douglas. This is called accountability of Perry Douglas. And you'll see attached to this is violence of Todd Baxter and names of Julie Sianka. So, what's the problem with Jonestown, Perry Douglas, and refusing to disclose the names of my prosecutors? Now I'm going to look over here at a document I've been demanded so I can see the names here, because your name is going to be right on it. Perry Douglas, March 10, 2003. You know what happened on March 10, 2003. That's your first day of employment at the district attorney's office. You've been there for 20 years. Length of time is both an incredible asset for an employer and destructive. I say destructive because length of time leads to incompetence. And as I look back down at this list of employees here, Michelle Bowen Richardson has been at the district attorney's office since January 28, 1991. 30 plus years. What does she do? She's an assistant district attorney. Sherry Crandall's been there since April 10, 1995. 27 plus years. What does she do? How do you get all these employees on this list that I have here that I'm going to look at again into that little shack at 47 South Fitzhugh, Perry Douglas? Because you have James Lanphier at December 17, 1994. 28 years. Is he a prosecutor? I don't know. Not everybody's a prosecutor, Perry Douglas. Carrie Noble, August 8, 1988. Carrie Noble, Perry Douglas, has been at the district attorney's office since George H.W. Bush and Michael Dukakis conducted the 1988 presidential campaign. When the conventions were held that summer of 1988. This is ridiculous and ludicrous and corrupt to have employees at the district attorney's office. This is on Paula Papatelli, August 24th, 1985. Paula Papatelli has been at the district attorney's office for 37 years. When I worked in the New York State Capitol from 1991 to 1998 for Senate Majority Leader Ralph Marino and Governor George Pataki, in the second floor press office for the governor and the third floor press office for the majority leader, there was an elderly man. He was about 70. He was on the 5th floor of the Capitol. And he did not have a job. He went into an office, he had no responsibilities, and he would walk around the Capitol because he worked for Governor Nelson A. Rockefeller. It's one of the saddest sights I've ever seen in my life. He would come into the press office, pick up the newspaper, read the newspaper, talk to a couple of my co-workers he had known because he was so well known, and he did nothing. I believe you have employees like that at the district attorney's office that are patronage hires, so you know that life's about who you know. Perry Douglas, tell me how I committed a crime for harassment second and criminal attempt second. I'm walking through this parking lot where I used to live at 26 minutes from driving Penfield, the psychopath. At 2033 Penfield, with A-Rod Shaw, 50-year-old man lives with his mother, begins to scream at me. He goes to the sheriff's office about me walk through a park that I've walked through 4,000 times. But not for anybody else in Penfield, not for my excellent friend Adam that lives next to me, not for Penfield High School students, not for the ugly woman that lives across the street from me. Where's my 14th Amendment right to equal protection laws? Shot calls the sheriff's office. This is how they can cop criminal attempt second for me. Perry Douglas, you sick hack. Tell me if this is a crime. Shannon Meyer tied back his then $67,000 nauseating buffoon, who's now paid $83,000. Tells a man named Steve Desert of Brock Hall Tree and Lawn Care. Rides attracted by the residents 2600 from Drive to Christopher Chichester, 2600 from Drive, comes out of his arrest, will arrest him. I do. I come outside, I say nobody owns Atlanta, I walk back inside my residence. Because I called Timothy Murphy, the Monroe County Officer of Private Tax Service, and he tells me no one owns that land. That's not a crime, Perry Douglas. To walk outside and tell a man on his tractor, nobody owns land next to my residence. Tell me who I harassed, Perry Douglas. I go to an out funk gym in Penfield called PW Fitness. Up walks to me Jermaine L. Behrman. Behrman stands over me, punches down, my head snaps back violently. Who did I just harass, Perry Douglas? Who am I guilty of harassing? If I'm charged with harassment, second, there's a victim, there's a human being I harassed. There is no victim. I didn't harass anybody. $79,000 injury. He knows me because of criminal attempt second. We go out to his vehicle. I'm in the backseat of his vehicle. He marches Jermaine Behrman around to the side of the vehicle. Jermaine Behrman says these 7 words to me. I want to press charges against you. That's how I'm charged with harassment second. I have to go to Penfield County Court. This is where the prosecutor doesn't talk to court, Perry Douglas. And what's her name? I believe I know her name. I believe she's a judge now. Who didn't win? You tell me her name. I appear before John Pimentel Jr. to answer criminal attempt second. Well, that's not a crime, Perry Douglas. To tell a man on track nobody owns the land next to my residence. I'm not harassing anyone or violent attack. Total silence. Pimentel declares me guilty. I'm sent to Monroe County Jail. You know her name. Christopher.Chichester@mail.com. Go to your files, you sick hack. Look up my case before John Pimentel Jr. and tell me the name of this female prosecutor that stood in total silence. I took a step back on Max's podium because I was shocked I was going to jail. The Monroe County Sheriff Office employee behind me put his hands on my shoulder and drove me to the ground. I was on my knees in Penfield Town Court, and I did something I have not done since elementary school. I screamed, "You're violating my rights." They took me to Monroe County Jail. I've talked about where I went after that, but well, not now. Tell me how I committed an attempted felony assault here, Perry Douglas. This is Michael C. Houlihan, $73,000 employee of the Sheriff's Office, and Don Benedetto, $85,000 employee of the Sheriff's Office. This is why you're psychopaths, Perry Douglas. I leave my residence 2 years ago, walk alongside my residence at 2600 Farm Drive. Benedetto and Houlihan are hiding in the bushes. At first, I don't know what this is at midnight. I turn around and run away. I never stop running. I'm going to say this again for you, you sick hack. I never stop running. I get to my bike, I grab a hammer alongside my bike, I place my foot on the first of 3 steps. This is on the body camera footage of Michael C. Houlihan. Houlihan grabs my arm, the hammer I just grabbed goes up and pull away, run through the sliding glass door. On the body camera footage of Michael C. Houlihan, I say to him, "Fuck you," and "Fuck you, Perry Douglas." What crime did I commit? The hammer went up, I pulled away, I ran through the sliding glass door. This is on the body camera footage. I'm charged by Michael C. Houlihan and Don Benedetto with attempted felony assault. Alex Renzi in New York State Supreme Court tells me there's no such concoction as attempted felony assault. It's either assault or it's not assault. And I was in Livingston County Jail for the show. I got to Livingston County Jail. I'm walking to go to Cam's Pizza. I arrive at the pharmacy entrance to Wegmans. A psychopath with tied back to the sheriff's office exits the vehicle, runs at me, knocks me down, my head slammed down on the concrete pavement, Perry Douglas. He takes me to Paul C. Metz from Penfield Town Court. This $28,000 bald-headed widow declares me guilty of something, and I'm driven to Livingston County Jail in Geneseo. So I only got 35 seconds to go, Perry Douglas. Christopher.Chichester@mail.com. Christopher.Chichester@mail.com. Mail the names of my prosecutors to silence to that email address. Do you understand me, Perry Douglas? You nauseating, corrupt, vile hack. You know the names, and you're refusing to disclose the names of these prosecutors to silence, because I will seek to dispar each with the appellate division of State Supreme Court. What's not to understand, Perry Douglas? You failed to understand the English language. You failed to disclose this information to me because you, Perry Douglas, at the District Attorney's Office, are corrupt.
My name is Christopher Chichester. I live in Rochester, New York. I've been an innocent man my whole life.